Hello, hello. You know what time it is. It is Chitter Chatter time. Welcome back for another episode. It is season 6, episode 53. Show me your resume. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Unique Manigault, actress, model, poet, CEO of Black Girl Beauty Performing Arts School. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Drop a like. Drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chitter Chatter time, and we are ready to kick off tonight. We have a great episode planned for you. I have some very good information because listen, we are talking about your resume. So many of us have so many things on our resume that have nothing to do with where we're trying to go. We're speaking about it, ladies and gentlemen. And before we get started, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first commercial, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I am so happy to be here with you guys again. This is season 6, episode 53. Show me your resume. Hold on, because it's a whole lot we got going on tonight. Show me your resume. Ladies and gentlemen, because so often in our community, we have so many things going on. We have so many things that we're doing, so many jobs, so many side hustles. We don't take the time to see how all those jobs and all those side hustles are helping us build our resume. I am your host, Unique Manigault, actress, model, poet, CEO of Black Girl Beauty Performing Arts School. And tonight we are speaking about your resume and how it's going to help you move forward. I have a great guest tonight. We have a great episode planned. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. But you know what we got to do first, ladies and gentlemen. We going to mix our drink. And first things first, we are drinking tequila tonight. I'm making margaritas. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. I found this tequila a long time ago. You guys remember a few episodes back is the first time I jumped into it, and it's just a good, what is it? I forgot what it was even called. El Mayor. That's what we drinking tonight. So we're gonna go ahead. You know what? First, I'm gonna get my cup together. Because we making margaritas, you know, I got my sugar, because we definitely doing sugar rooms. Now, before I do my cup, I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready, because I got my lemons. For the margarita, I'm gonna drop the little lemons in there because I don't want to put no ice in the drink because I need it to last me for the rest of the night. But I do want my lemons up in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 ounces of the tequila, just so it can last me. It got the 3 real quick. I should have put the lemons in last. We're going to do 2 shots. Okay? That's what we're going to do with that. I already pre-opened this because I tell you, when I'm opening these bottles on here, they were not coming out right. Lime juice. And I'm going to take that up to the 7, the 6 with the lime. 6.5 with the lime juice. I'm looking at the ounce thing when I say that. What was that? Ladies and gentlemen. Don't know what that was. Instagram, I don't know if you saw that. Okay. And then I got the margarita mix. Add that on up in there. So right now I'm at 6.5. I'm gonna take it on up to 8 with the lime, with the margarita mix. I'm gonna have to add another shot in. It's looking like I normally do 4 shots. I used to in the beginning, but we slowing it on down now. So I'll do 3. Add one more. Let me see, because I don't want it to overfill, and I still got a couple more ingredients to add. So we're just gonna do 3. Almost full to the top. I'm gonna add a little cranberry juice, regular cranberry. And that's gonna take it up to 11. It's already looking good. And I'm gonna top it off with some strawberry margarita mix. I'm spilling water. Everything was in the refrigerator and cold, so you know it's sweating. That's what I called it. I don't know if that's really what it's really called, but that's what I called it. It's looking like I could have. Ooh, that looks so good. Look at that. Okay. Sweat everywhere. All over. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got that mixed up. I'm putting my little top on because I want the lemons to circulate through there. Shake that on up. It's looking like it might need one more shot. I don't know. Might need to go ahead and do the flow. I'm gonna wait. See how the night goes. We might need that. Ooh, that's looking good. So now the second part of this drink, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my cup right. We're doing sugar rims tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know how to do a sugar rim, you about to learn. It's simple. There ain't really no science to it. So I got my little top. I'll put the sugar on here. Should have brought me a fork or something. It don't matter. And I'm gonna take a lemon and rub it around the top of the cup. It's always something. Okay. Just to get it a little moist. I don't like salt rims. I don't know who even invented that thing to do. And you're gonna take your cup and just swirl it around in the sugar. I'm actually using a straw, so it almost don't matter. But you know, you gotta get a little bit of the sugar in there. I like these. I like my margaritas good. I mean, I'm sure we all like them good, but mine gonna be great. You know, tequila. Said I was gonna stay away from it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have been keeping up, last week I started a 21-day journey with a few of my ladies that I had on, and we are 7 days in, ladies and gentlemen. We are 7 days in, 7 days strong, and I have not had one argument. It has been tough. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna say that it ain't been easy. Got my ice. Hold on, because it done melted a little bit. So let me get the water out of there. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't even know. I guess I am a little more argumentative. I said I wasn't. I sure did say I wasn't. I've been saying I wasn't. Ooh, that's ice cold. A little water. Drop that in there. My little ice done melted. I've been down here so long. Take some more lemons and drop that in the cup. Got my cup. Sugar rim looking real good. If you're just now tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chitter Chatter time. And you know what we're doing? We're mixing our drink. Tonight, we are speaking about your resume, ladies and gentlemen. How is all the work that you're doing contributing to the person, the career, the job, the business that you want? That looks so good. I'm definitely gonna need, yep, because that was only one drink. It was the lemons. The lemons added. The lemons, I can't believe that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make another one of them. It's probably majority tequila. Not probably, but it's looking real good. So it might take me a long time to finish that one. We gonna see. I got my straw tonight. But that is looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, show me your resume. We're going to go ahead and we're going to toast on in. Let me get it cleaned up a little bit. Chitter Chatter. That is good. And it's definitely, let me add, I forgot to put my little lemon on top of my cup. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to your resume, when it comes to a business or a brand or anything that you're trying to build, let me be the one to tell you it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. Some people like to hop on things that they see are popular, quick get rich quick schemes, and they don't realize the time, the effort, the energy, the stress, and the consistency that comes behind it. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm even with jobs that people don't necessarily consider good jobs. When people decide to take on those jobs, it comes with a lot. You can't just jump into it. This is a conversation that we don't often have, but it needs to be had. When so many of us are considering entrepreneurship, so many of us are working. We want to be entertainers. We want to be influencers. We want to have what we see other people having, and we don't know. We don't even consider the work that comes behind it. I have been modeling and acting and doing poetry since I was an adolescent, a little girl. My first fashion show, I was 4 years old. Now I do have a natural walk, but being on stage, the energy, the stress, the time, the clothing change, having your own business, everything that comes behind that was not easy. No stress to anybody, no disrespect to people that decide to work a 9 to 5, but even a 9 to 5 is not easy. You have to deal with businesses, you have to deal with bosses, you have to deal with everything that comes with a job. And so many people that have never worked a job before have so much to say. So many people that have never sat down and had to deal with, let's just say you're the type of person that does payroll. Having to deal with somebody else's paycheck, having to deal with someone else coming to you consistently, if you're not on time, if you're not on top of your work, meeting quotas, all of that is stress. And we don't even consider that when we're judging each other. We don't even consider that when we look back, when we look into joining in on whatever that person or those people have in their jobs. We don't consider any of that. We sometimes just see what other people are doing and we see how it's working out for them, and we think the same thing is going to work out for us. Ladies and gentlemen, it does not work like that. You can't just wake up and decide you want to be a model because you think you look good. You have to understand listen, there are a lot of women that look good that are not good models. There are a lot of women that have a nice walk that are not good models. It's not one thing. It's not one dimensional. There are 20 dimensions that you have to go through when it comes to owning your own business, owning your own brand, building it from the ground up. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, consistency is so important. Having patience is so important, because when you neglect to be consistent, then you waste time and you waste your own time. Let me tell you, I understand that when you're building a business and building a brand, that sometimes you have to have other jobs and side hustles to get you where you need to go. That's understood. But, excuse me, keep into perspective the ultimate goal. Don't get into, if you don't want to have a 9 to 5. This is only for those that don't. Some people do. But if you're working your 9 to 5 because you're trying to build your business and your brand, don't allow yourself to get caught up in that 9 to 5. Anybody that has ever worked a job with me, because let me tell you, I have worked many jobs to maintain this business. I have worked many jobs to maintain the work that I do in every aspect, the modeling, the poetry. It has not always brought in the money to pay the bills. And that's just being honest. But that never took away the joy. That never made me stop. That never made me quit. Anybody that has ever worked a job with me can tell you, I when I'm at work, I don't talk. I don't make friends. I am there to work. Now, that is not to say I had a job for 3 years. I was working as a waitress, and it was a first come first serve type job. Like, we didn't have a schedule where you get the first table, I get the second table. No, it was first come first serve. So my entire shift, I was sitting at the door. I wasn't off having conversations with other coworkers. I had one coworker I sat and talked to, and if she wasn't there, I wasn't talking. When my friends came in to my job, I didn't sit down and have a good time with them. I served them, but then I moved right on around and continued working with everyone because I wasn't there at that job to make a career. I had a career. I've had the same career my entire life. I've been working on this career and this dream consistently, patiently I'm 31 years old. 30. We gonna take one sip to that, ladies and gentlemen. 30. I have been working on this career. Okay, I'll say about started when I might have been 4. So I'm gonna say 27 years. I have been consistent in this. I've had good days. I've had bad days. I've had awesome days and great days. I ain't really had too many bad days, but I've had them. Those were the days where I'll say I had to go out and get another job. But my mind was focused. I didn't get caught up in these jobs, and I didn't get upset when the bad days came. It was like, oh, now I got to get a job. And I always pushed it to the limit. I'm talking about no other option but to get another job just to keep me afloat. And sometimes that is what you have to do. But don't forget your dream. Don't forget the business that you're building. Don't forget the brand. That is what we have to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Don't see something going on around you and decide, oh, you know what? Forget my dream. Forget my goals. I'm going to do that because it looks good and it's working for them. Be mindful. What works for others does not always work for you. And tonight I have a guest that can come in and speak to you about the importance of staying consistent. She has been in the industry for over 40 years. This is my very first modeling coach. So you can see she got some skills, ladies and gentlemen. When I was 4 years old, she looked at my mother and told her that I was ready. Not even knowing, I didn't even know I was ready. But I got up there and I performed, and I have been doing it ever since. Can you imagine where I would be had I not listened to, and it was some rough years, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I didn't even like modeling when I was a kid. My mother would tell you they had to force me to get on stage. But what's meant for you will not miss you. It doesn't matter how hard you fight it. It doesn't matter how hard you go against it. When something is meant for you, it's meant for you. I have strangers to this day that come up to me when I'm out walking. Oh, do you model? Oh, you got a nice walk. And that is God reassuring me that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I should have never been fighting against it in the first place. However, here I am, and I want to introduce to you guys I got juice all over the place. I want to introduce you guys. Here we go. Instagram, always blocking my little videos. Facebook. I want to introduce you guys to advocate, author, ambassador for Christ, and model coach, my very first model coach, Miss Deborah Jackson. I'm going to go ahead and add her in. Hello.
Hello, greetings. I don't know what's in. I am doing fine, thank you. And I thank you for inviting me onto your program tonight. I didn't know what to expect, but the topic caught my attention. And I'm grateful that, I was able to get through the difficulties of coming on. And I don't know what was in
Absolutely.
your drink, but I'm thirsty, and I just want to toast to you my punch
Thank you so
in celebrating your achievements, your success, and your uh, your gift that God has given you to teach others to be uh, ambitious in pursuing their career. So, thank you, and I look forward to working with your gift of giving to other young people in the modeling and the acting, in the poetry. In the modeling industry, we consider that as a triple threat. So I just want to celebrate you tonight and thank you for inviting me to be on.
Thank
Is
you
it
for
called?
being here. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. You're
And
welcome.
go ahead and tell everyone how you started and how long have you been working in your field, in your career, and some of the how you had to stay consistent because of some of the situations that you occurred with your business. Because the topic is show me your resume. You said you wanted to talk about the word resume.
Yes, I do. I have an acronym for resume. For those that are watching, I am an author. I'm also a minister, as well as a teacher and preacher. And I believe that children learn at a very early age what they see, what they hear, what they do. You remember when I was your age. Actually, you started out at I believe you were 3. Your mother had sent me a photo, and thinking back to when I first started producing fashion shows, I was only 18 years of age, but it was embedded in me when I was a little girl. My aunt was a seamstress, a nurse, and uh, she was designed fashion show clothing for fashion shows for community events. So it was engrafted in me as a little girl, as a model. As I became um, a teenager, I had in my mind that I was going to be either an actor or a entrepreneur. The word entrepreneur wasn't a very popular word, but I wanted to be successful. So at the early age, I attended Barbizon. I was still in high school. I pursued at the age of 14. I couldn't afford it. So at the age of 16, I was working part time and I was able to attend Barbizon Modeling School at the time. Uh, uh, Being a student, I also had the opportunity to become a teacher. So I was a student teacher at the same time, competing with other students and with the skills and practicing and building up my confidence out of over 100 models. I took first place. So for 2.5 years, I was employed as a instructor, certified model coach, and realized that a lot of the students could not afford the cost of attending Barbizon. So
Mhm.
I then took on my own agency and began to start training after my contract had expired. My main goal was to teach young people how to be uh, whom God created them to be, and that is
Mhm.
success. Success is not what you say, or it's what you know about yourself, knowing your self worth, and that
Mhm.
is the key to my success. At the age of 18, I discovered that I wanted more than working, even though I was in college, I wanted more than working for someone. I heard you talk about the
Me
nine to
too.
five. Yes, I worked 9 to 5 for different companies, but making them thousands of dollars. My background is I am an MBA. I'm also, I had worked with different retail stores as managers, but I started out as a merchandiser. And my ambitions was to actually one day own my own uh, business, a boutique, agency, and all the above, which I was very successful at doing. And it was not so much as a job; it was really a hobby, but yet at the same time, it was uh, paying my bills. It was
Absolutely.
meeting. You hear what I'm saying? So you have to have balance, and it has to. You have to have. I heard you say in one of your talks about patience. You have to have patience. You have
Absolutely.
to. You have to see, just like a flower. A flower is not going to bloom overnight. You got to plant it, then you got to water it, then you got to wait for the seed to germinate and become the flower, whether it be a rose or tulip. You've got to wait for it to come to full
Absolutely.
fruition. So, seeing you, you're what? How old now? You don't have
I
to
am
say
30,
your age.
30, 30, 30.
30, 30, 30. That's a significant number, but from 3 to 30, those are 3 decades. And what I'm so excited because the resume, uh, the question I was going to ask you was, what qualifies? Okay, what is it? Most people don't understand the importance of a resume and what qualifies you for the job. If you're going to work for someone, you need to know what the qualifications are. You
Absolutely.
need to meet those qualifications and you
Absolutely.
need to know your self-worth. And if you don't know all these things, uh, it's just like you're just doing it because you need the money.
Absolutely. That's what I
And
was speaking about when I said a lot of people see other people doing things and they don't know the work. People will look at me and think that I'm modeling just because it's something, not knowing I've been modeling since the age of 4. I have my bachelor's degree in theater.
wow.
I have been modeling and working and in the city and moving around all of my life. And I know the things that weren't taught to me as a child that I wish I did. And that is actually where the love began. Because when I was acting, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't like it. I talk to my students and I speak to them from the perspective of I understand where you're at and where you're going. Because I do have some students right now that have difficulties on stage and stage fright. And when I was modeling growing up, there wasn't a coach, there wasn't a person once I got to my teenage years that was talking to me and was able to help me overcome certain fears that come from being on stage. What were you about to say?
Well, no, no. I just had a flashback. When you were first, your mother first introduced me to you, you didn't have no choice. And I saw it in
Exactly.
your eyes, that you were frightened. And I took your hand. And I believe that because I saw your potential, your eyes, you were like just mesmerized that, wow, she wants me to model. That's the impression I was getting because of your eyes, beautiful eyes. But when you began to walk, you began to emulate all the other models. I was like, that girl got confidence. She got uh enthusiasm, even though you didn't really, as a child, a lot of children, as I said, they see and watch and they mimic, and that's what you were doing. And I think that as you were accelerating and being around the atmosphere, your mother having the salon and everything, and around all that talent, I believe that that inspired you. The children are very inquisitive. And I think that inside it was already planted in you that you were going to be successful in whatever you wanted to do. Once you put your mind to it, you got on that stage and it's like, you can't tell her nothing. I don't know if you
Absolutely.
can
I've
remember.
always had kind of inner. Once I decide I'm going to do something, it's done. Which is why I'm selective about how I speak and how I move, even to this day. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter, Season 6, Episode 53. We are speaking about Show Me Your Resume. What is the work that you're putting in? And in this moment, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a commercial break. See you back right after this commercial. Go under. Go under. Fingers right here. And start blending from right here. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Chitter Chatter, season 6, again, episode 53. I am your host, Unique with Manigault, and I have my guest, Miss Deborah Jackson. This is my very first model coach, so you can see what her work has done, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Deb, we are speaking about show me your resume. And what were you saying before we went on break?
Show me your resume. First of all, you have to understand what market. Specifically, I'm going to zero into modeling, acting, and coaching. You have to have knowledge.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's the first thing. In order
Ladies,
to present,
take a sip to know what you're doing.
You have to understand the industry of the modeling, the acting, the poetry, the entertainment. I've not only worked in the modeling, but also in the music industry. And your portfolio is you. Your resume is you. And
Absolutely.
Without a portfolio, a track record of what you've done, and what you've done in the period of preparing and actually have authentic track records. I can say I'm a model, but if I've never been on the runway, if I've never been in front of a photographer, if I never did trade shows, if I never did any acting or monologues, if I never did anything beyond, I want to say Harrisburg, that's a little joke. If I have not been outside,
outside of your hometown,
yeah, then your resume is
anywhere else other than where you are.
Your resume is really you're an amateur.
Yes, it's really narrow.
There's
and that is
different
what I was
levels.
about when I was saying that so many people see what other people are doing and want to jump into it. You have to be consistent and you have to build your resume and you have to put in the work. You can't just decide that you want to do something and you have no credentials and you have no qualifications. Like what you were saying. You have to put in work and you have to be knowledgeable about what it is that you decide to do. How is it that you think you're a model and you've never been on a runway? You don't even know what a runway is. If we were to break it down and start speaking the language, like show me a pose. What is a T-top? What is a U shape? You don't know any of that.
What's a triple threat?
What is a triple threat? You don't, and that's simple.
Well, I call it, first of all, a triple threat. You have to be, first of all, photogenic. The greatest opportunity that I had when I was still a student at Barbizon was to be able to work with photographers. If nothing else, it's your working relationship with the photographers that starts your portfolio. That starts with because if you don't know how to pose, you're not going to get an opportunity to work with some of the best. Matter of fact, I didn't even realize I was working with some of the best when Cindy Crawford. I actually had professional photographers coming to Pennsylvania, talent scouting for models, because first of all, as a model coach, you need to know the industry and know those that are promoting the look. And it is the photographer that promotes the look. They are the ones that has the eye. I'm talking language. They're the ones that see the potential. They're the ones that are marketing. Just like if you were working at a department store, you have visuals, merchandisers, displays. It's to sell a product. And as a model, actor, poet, you're the product. And you've got to know how to, I heard you say the word brand. You have to know your brand. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm only 5'4". In order to be a fashion runway, you gotta at least be 6 feet. You know what? I had 3-inch heels.
Mm.
And I was my very first professional job, made $75 an hour. I was only sent on the go see to do a hair show. But because they were short on models, I was creative. I knew, well, 6 feet. Oh,
You
I
got
went
to
and
be
got me
able to
some shoes.
improvise when you don't always fit the bill. You improvise. Don't never let
You
anyone tell
improvise.
you.
But you got to know also the protocol. I didn't get paid for that job because I wasn't sent on that job to do runway. I was sent on the job to do just hair and makeup.
Mm.
And had I known that in advance, I would have. And that's why you need a model coach. That's why you need
Absolutely.
instructors. That's why you need to know how to prepare your resume before your audition. First impression is very important. And
Absolutely.
sometimes you may trial and error, but don't give up. That's where persistence come in. That's where patience come in. Your time, if your time will come for the right door to open, but you got to know your self-worth. So as an acronym, I wanted to challenge you because see, in order for you to promote your program, your business, whatever idea, you have to have the right attitude. You have to
Absolutely.
have the right attitude. You have to be able to communicate verbally and non-verbally. You've got to be aggressive. What I mean by that, in a way that people know that you're not just dreaming, but you see yourself be being a success and being a part of creating success. So as a resume, my acronym for a successful resume is having the right mind. That comes with the right attitude and knowing who you are. Second of all, the E, being enthused. If somebody has to tell you, oh, you're pretty, and you know darn well you're not looking the part, but yet someone compliments, you got to know that you're beautiful. You got to know that you're a success, and build on that by doing what you love best. It takes practice, persistence, and again that word I hear, patience, and
Mm.
then it also ultimately you will see the beauty that is within. People will, the beauty that is within is the spirit of success. I'm going back to success. Success is when you work at a thing. Nobody have to uh, coerce you. It's good to have someone to coach you, but you've got to see yourself successful. So ultimately, in using your time, I'm calling it the 3 T's: time, see, producing your talent, as far as making yourself visible, marketing yourself, even uh, when you don't see yourself being chosen
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of competition in all three: modeling, acting, and entertainment. But you've got to see yourself not at the money, but the time, talents, and the treasure, your value, your self-worth. There are models today, and I tell my models, after training them, after grooming them, after putting them before the industry, uh, I wouldn't say the industry, uh, what I want to say, management. When you make the right connections, you've got to be able to have mindset of negotiating, doing business is what I'm talking
Absolutely.
about. Yes, about your future, investing all this time from 4 up into 30, and you're still doing freebies. you're still
Absolutely.
you,
Listen,
you
I say right now, make your price, charge your price, and do not negotiate. Because when you have put in the work and you have put in the time and you have been consistent, continuing to do everything that you do at the best of your capability with all of your qualifications for free, that'll cost you. That was what I was speaking about, how you can get caught up in a 9 to 5 that you should have only been in for maybe a year or two. It's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but that's not who you are. That's not where you were going. That's not the career you were focused in. But because when it comes to your business and your
yes,
brand, you're so busy worried about giving out freebies. You want to have everybody like you. You want everybody to know you. At some point, like you said, you need to be aggressive. You need to be confident in who you are. And you have the qualifications. Charge your price and don't negotiate. And I seen a quote a few months ago, and I was talking to my mom about it, which we're going to bring her in a few seconds for Mind Your Business. You have to charge people, because when people don't play, when people don't pay, they do not remember. Ladies and gentlemen, when people don't pay for your services, they don't want to brag about it. When people don't pay for your services,
devalue.
they
It's
don't
called
value.
devalue.
They learn. When somebody has to pay for your services, oh, they want to get all that they can get. When somebody pays for your services, they don't mind bragging about it, especially when they have learned something. And when you're qualified, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take one sip
My
today.
God, the resume.
When you're qualified, ladies and gentlemen, people will learn from you. I have never had a student ever step in any class that I have ever had, whether it be an hour class, 2 hour class, 30, I done taught a 30-minute class. Never had a student leave and they didn't learn something. Never had a student leave and later on in the week, they didn't call me like, oh, she's been doing, like their parents, oh, she's been doing this all week. Oh, they're doing this. My students come into my classes and learn. And not only does that make them eager to come back, it makes their parents eager to bring them back. You want to see your children, people want to see their children doing great. People want to be in an atmosphere where they're learning and they're growing. And ladies and gentlemen, like Miss Deb said, you have to look the part. I don't come to class looking beat down. I sometimes walk around the house. I sometimes walk to the grocery store, what I consider beat down. But I don't come to class. When it comes to my business and my brand, oh, I don't play. When I was working those 9 to 5s and I was working those jobs to keep me afloat, I did the bare minimum. I did not go above and beyond. I did not do any extra to impress the boss. I did not try to become friends with people at work. And I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying it was always a focus thing for me. I knew why I was there. I knew what I needed to do. And I kept that mindset, even though my business and my brand wasn't where it needed to go, even though I wasn't where I needed to go. You keep your mind together and everything else will flow. Your time is going to come and it will not miss you. And ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into another commercial. See you right back after this commercial break. And when you walk, just walk. You want everybody to see you because that's what you're there, your models. You are there to model whatever it is you have on. So you want them to see you. And the best way for them to see you is to have a good walk. 5, 6, 7, 8, walk. And what that does is it just teaches you how to walk easily. Step, and turn. Step, hold on, go back, and turn. Here we go. There you go. Good job. Left foot. Keep your head up. Watch. Make sure you smiling, interact with the crowd, feel them. There you go. Move the hips. Make sure y'all paying attention. Boom. Crowd, pop it back. There you go. Boom. There you go. Always start on the left foot. Give me my room this bottom here. And you know why you got to give it to me while I'm in? Do you know why you got to give it to me while I'm It's in the mind. Cultivate your mind to envision optimism. Condition your ears to listen real clear and free your mind from egoism.
See how the hair keeps turning? It's turning because you're not holding it. Hold it and do this. You did it. You got your turn. With your left finger, your thumb. There you go. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. Grab her. Do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and this is Chitter Chatter Season 6, Episode 53, Show Me Your Resume. The commercial that you just saw, if you're just now tuning in, is about the summer program that we have going on here at Black Girl Beauty. We have acting, we have modeling, we have poetry, we have hair braiding. We teach it all in our summer program. If you're looking or you're interested in somewhere to place your kids this summer, go over to www.iamuniqua.com and register for our summer program. We are still accepting applications. You can log in and join. And I guarantee your kids are going to learn. They're going to have fun. And they are going to get into the arts. Let me tell you, we don't just do young ladies. We do young men as well. I'm bringing rappers. I'm bringing poets. I'm bringing models. I'm bringing hair braiders. Hair braiding is for men and women, ladies and gentlemen. You could never not use that skill. Let's be clear. If you're just now tuning in, drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend that it is Chitter Chatter time. I am your host, Miss Uniqua Manigault, and I have my guest, Miss Deborah Jackson, and we are speaking about your resume, ladies and gentlemen. What are the qualifications? How are you putting in the work? And it is about that time that we're going to bring in our third guest for her segment, Mind Your Business, Miss Amanda, Black Girl Beauty Coach. Let me tell you, because this is the first episode where I have remembered to introduce Miss Amanda the correct way. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to Black Girl Beauty Coach, Miss Amanda Manigault. Come on in. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Yes, Miss Amanda, you're muted. You're muted. Unmute yourself, Miss Amanda. Yes. There you
Can
go.
you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Miss Deborah. It is indeed a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to share this platform with you today.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Thank
you know,
you.
when you look back over your life, you would never imagine this day.
Nice.
You know, you can't imagine, Deborah, when we did our very first fashion show together, I didn't imagine 27 years later that we would be on this platform with Miss Uniqua on Uniqua's Chitter Chatter show, that we would be here in this form. And it reminds me of how awesome God is. It reminds me of his divine order and how we don't have to push or try to make anything happen. All we have to do is be prepared and follow his divine order, because he will put it together. And when he put it together, it's magical. It is magical. So tonight, I just want to thank you, because I didn't know you was a guest until earlier today. Uniqua reached out to you, and I'm proud of her because, you know, she took her show and she took it by storm. And, you know, she has her own connections with people and her own relationship with people. But I just want to say thank you to you in many ways, because I don't give my daughter to everybody. I don't share my daughter with everybody. I don't put her in the hands of everybody. But I want to say to the audience today that Miss Debbie is not just Miss Debbie. From the day I met her, from the day I saw her walk, From the day I saw her represent her brand, I knew she was magical. I knew she was special. I knew she was anointed. I knew all that when I watch her on
And I liked
Facebook.
her. I'm not a liker person.
And when I watch her on Facebook, and I'm not saying this because she's right here, I'm honored to say this because she's right here. In other words, Debbie, I want to give you your roses while you live. I want to give them to you right now today. I want to say thank you to you because oftentimes we don't tell people these kind words while they're here to receive them. And so I'm happy that my daughter invited you on the show as a guest. And I'm honored. I am honored to be able to have this conversation with you. Because, see, what Chitter Chatter is all about is we talk about things that aren't normally discussed in our community. And how often, Deborah, does people come up to you and really give you credit for what you do? I know you see your students all around the world. You see your students here and you see your students there because I see my students out there too. People I have taught how to braid, and sometimes they'll walk by you and act like they don't see you. And then you have some that will always acknowledge you. But I tell you, I like to
give, what Miss Deb was saying. When they don't pay,
right,
they don't value.
Right. I like to give credit where credit is due. And I don't mind honoring people because like I said, I don't put my child in anybody's hands. So when I put my child in your hands, I knew I was putting her in good hands, and not just in good hands. I knew I was putting her with the best. And so,
thank you.
And as I watched you do what you do, I want to share this with you too. I never saw you being messy. And I say that because in our world, we know we have to admit we are labeled. Yes, some things that they say about us are really lies. We know that. But we have also, as Black women, Deborah, you and I both have experienced this thing. We have experienced the messiness. We have experienced being around, because in our industry, whether it's beauty, fashion, modeling, whatever, in our industry, it's a tough industry. And we deal with a lot of Black women. And oftentimes, I know growing up in our city, because where we came from, we know what it's like. And growing up in our city, we dealt with a lot as Black women. And back in those days, Debbie was one of the first Black entrepreneurs that I met in business for herself, teaching young girls how to model. And she did it with confidence, and she did it proudly. She was proud of who she was. She was proud of what she was doing. And I want to say thank you for that, because you were an influence in my life. You let me know that it was possible. You let me know that it could be done. So if I've never ever said it to you before, I want to honor you right now. And I want to say thank you. And thank you for being on Chitter Chatter tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Amanda.
Thank you, Miss Amanda. Thank you both. The Bible says,
I have a few things that, a few questions or a few things that I want to share, because when you talk about Uniqua, your topic is what, Uniqua?
Show me your resume.
Show me your resume. So I take that in two different ways. I take it in, number one, we deal with a lot of people who really don't have the resume. And you can call them fake people if you want to, or you have these people that don't have the resume, but they still have that desire, and that's okay too. They have that desire to want to be.
Some people just simply have the finances. They don't have the resume. They don't have the track record. They don't even really know the industry, but they have the money, and they see others doing it and see that it's a good idea, and they put the money behind it, and boom. And I want to take a moment to say something to the entrepreneurs that have been putting in work over the years, and they see people like that don't have their qualifications and didn't put in their time, but just somehow, some way skyrocketed because they have the money. Don't allow that to kick you off your path. Don't allow that to deter you, because I'm going to say it again, like I said before, what's meant for you will not miss you. One thing about life, it doesn't matter if you have the finances to build it up right now. If you don't have the qualifications and you don't have the experiences, there are going to be things that will happen to you in the building the business that you were not prepared for. I'm not saying it'll knock you down, but you were not prepared for. My Miss Amanda tells me something all the time about people. Never be concerned about someone that is copying what you're doing. First of all, they're behind you. They have to wait on whatever you're doing next before they can move forward to their next block. They can't move forward until you move forward, because they're copying. And not even that. You have been doing this for years. You might let's just say we're modeling. I'm going to get out on the stage and I'm going to do a routine. You don't know the fact that you don't know that this routine, if you don't step in this spot a certain way, you're going to fall. But we do, because we put in the work. So when you get on stage and you try to do what we did, you're going to fall because you didn't know that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why putting in the work and staying consistent and being patient, it pays off. It may not feel like it in the moment, but it will eventually pay off. Can I finish my sentence?
Debbie, you better get her.
We're gonna take that, Miss Amanda.
But I want to comment on that for a minute, Uniqua, because I want to, especially to the younger professionals or younger entrepreneurs, we have to stop entertaining that. It has to stop being a thought. It has to stop being a thought in our minds about the word copying, because whatever we're doing today, whatever I'm doing, whatever Debbie's doing, whatever you're doing, it has already been done before. Trust me.
Amen.
It has already been done before. That same thought that's in my mind is probably in Debbie's mind and probably in your mind. But sometimes some people just move a little faster than others. You know, I have had thoughts in my mind, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add this to my brand. But of course, you can't do everything at one time. But you just haven't gotten around to it yet. It might be on your schedule for next quarter. Or you say in January, I'll be ready to do that. But then you look up and you see somebody else done did it before you had a chance to do it. That don't mean that you're not supposed to do it. That don't mean that you're copying that person. That just means that they did it before you did it. And it bothers me when I hear people say, oh, she copied me. Excuse me? Great minds think alike. And if we're in the same profession, 9 times out of 10, we want the same things pretty much. I want when I make this hamburger, I'm already preparing to make my next hamburger. You know, when this hairstyle come out, I can't be focused staying on this. I gotta worry about when January come here. What's new? What's the newest hairstyle I'm gonna come out with in January?
And another thing that you have to be aware of, just because it's already being done, it doesn't mean that there doesn't mean to be another. Because one thing that I don't know how many billion people in the world, but there are a billion something people just here in the United States. Right. One person doing that one thing cannot service all these people.
And you don't own a product. You only own your product. Absolutely. You don't own what the next person's creating.
Stop you.
You know,
this is good talk.
I hear people say this type of stuff. You can't stop the next person from designing their brand or redeveloping their brand. And guess what? And the truth is, they might have saw you do it first. But it's okay. Go ahead.
Why can't we work together? See, this is the thing.
Absolutely.
This is table talk. I call this table talk. Exactly. And I heard the thought, mind your business. Right, see, if we focus on the business God has given us,
that's right.
And when we come to the table and share our brand or idea, guess what? Right. We can establish multiple businesses more.
And that's why we have Black Girl Beauty meetups. And that's why we have our meetups once a month to eliminate this stuff. To get together and chat about it and talk about it. Because if we don't change the way we think, if we don't change the way we do stuff,
the right mind,
we'll always
absolutely. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. We do a meetup to rise up once a month where we get together as Black women and we discuss things that we need to do with our business. We discuss all the issues and problems that we're having and trying to grow. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you a commercial about that. We're going to be right back in 1 second. See you soon.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Ricky Rick. I was at the first Black Girl Beauty Business Girls Night, and let me tell you something. This was the best couple of hours I've spent in a really long time. There was a lot of wonderful women here. I learned a lot of things. I just want to say thank you to the Black Girl Beauty community, Miss Amanda, Unique Manigault. I really love you guys. Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace. Oh, feline. Don't forget the feline. Don't forget the feline.
Hi. Tonight was my first night with the BGB ladies, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great success. And next time y'all come see what we're doing.
Hey, my name is Tasha May, and I did my first night at Black Girls Beauty Community, and I would say that I loved it so much. I do have a business as well. My name is Lux Limited Edition, and while I was here tonight, I had learned so much from the other women that was around me. It inspired me to think about a lot of different things, and I would say y'all might as well come on over and get this Black Girl Beauty going.
To thank Amanda for inviting me to her women's entrepreneur meeting. I enjoyed myself. I learned a lot, and hopefully I was able to drop a few nuggets for some of the younger women there and young entrepreneurs. I will see you next month. And again, I enjoy myself. Definitely the prayer. All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Beautiful.
and we are back. It
Thank
is Chitter Chatter Season 6, Episode 53, Show Me Your Resume. I am your host, Unique Manigault, and I have my guest, Miss Deborah Jackson, and Black Girl Beauty Coach, Miss Amanda Manigault, and we are speaking on the topic tonight, ladies. This commercial that you just saw is speaking about our meetup and rise up meetings that we have once a month with Black women who own businesses, and we speak about the problems that we're having, issues, we network, we help each other build our businesses and our brand, because that's what we need more of in our community. We need more coming together. We need more sharing of information, because one thing about it, when we come together, we are so much better. Ladies and gentlemen,
And I want to say that our doors are open. We have officially open. We are accepting applications. If you are interested in starting a Black Girl Beauty chapter in your city, if you want to join, become partners with Black Girl Beauty, please go to our website, www.blackgirlbeauty.org, www.blackgirlbeauty.org, and click on, and if you go scroll down a page, you'll see start a chapter. And if you're interested in that, just go on there, fill out the application, and we'll take it from there. We want to start Black Girl Beauty chapters all around the world.
Absolutely.
The doors are open here in West Palm Beach, Florida. So we'll talk.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Well, and ladies and gentlemen,
you were in Florida,
you've been tuned in to Chitter Chatter. Last week we started a 21-day challenge. I am on day 7 of breaking a bad habit, no arguing. Miss Amanda just interrupted me, and you see how I didn't go back and forth with her about that? I am on a 21-day challenge. I am 7 days in, no arguing. Believe it or not, and it has been hard, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving
A child would lead.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
We are taking leaps, and we are doing things that we never done before to better our business and our brand. Elevation requires separation, ladies and gentlemen.
So I have a few things I want to ask you guys, and I want you keep on. And I want you and Debbie to give me your opinion about it, because we're talking about tonight. We're talking about your topic. So how do you identify Uniqua with people who don't have the resume? One of the ways that I put, and you guys can give me your opinion. Fake people, we talked about fake people. Fake people make plans and they don't keep their plans. That's an example of someone who probably don't have the resume. You know, and that's a way of identifying them, because oftentimes if they don't have a resume, they most of the time don't have the passion for it. They're just there trying to make money or trying to duplicate what somebody else is doing.
Or trying to look good.
Pardon me?
Or trying to look good. It looks
right.
good.
You, Debbie, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I had a question for Unique tonight, because when she invited me and she spoke about resume, the first thing is I was going to submit my resume to her, but I said, no, I'm going to hold back. I'm going to see if she does her homework. And so I want to ask her the question, you being the host, okay, what qualifies someone to be on your show without a resume versus a resume?
Well, this is Black Girl Beauty Chitter Chatter. And what I do when I scan my guests that I have on each show, first of all, I examine my topic and I look at whoever I'm asking to be a guest to be on my show. This episode was Show Me Your Resume. So I wanted someone on this particular episode that was consistent, had been in their field for many, many years.
Who had a resume? Who got a resume?
Who had many different outlets.
No, and this is funny though.
Different outlets when it came to working their business and their brand. And I want you to know I did do my homework. I looked up advocate, Christ ambassador, author, and model coach. And the fact that I knew you personally as my coach just sweetened the pot. But I've seen the work when I add my guests onto my shows, I already know what they do. I already have seen their work, and we have conversation. I normally have a sit down conversation with my guests, and we sit down and we talk about everything that they're doing as far as their business is concerned. But I don't just offer guests on Chitter Chatter as business owners and entrepreneurs, because the thing about Chitter Chatter is this is where we discuss what matters. When Black women chatter. All women aren't business owners. All women haven't had the conversation of what I need to do to get where I need to go. But this is still the place for them. This is the atmosphere for them. Because sometimes to get to where you're going, you need to be around the right people.
And we have different topics, certain topics.
Hold on. That is where you need to be on this platform, not because you already have what you need to be qualified, but because we're trying to qualify you. And the only way to qualify yourself is to put yourself in the right atmosphere and having the right conversation. See, we've been having good talk all night. This has been an educational conversation to anyone that is joined in, because we are speaking what isn't often spoken. We are encouraging. We are building up, and we have the qualifications because we just happen to have a resume. But someone outside looking in, because that's what we don't have in our community, and we don't have the encouragement and the support enough in our community. Someone outside looking in needs to know, you know what? I can do that too. I can do that too. I can be like those women, because you can. All you have to do is be consistent, have the passion, and put yourself in the right atmospheres. And that is what Black Girl Beauty is. And that is how I scan my guests.
Yes. My first opportunity to really, as far as producing fashion events, contributes to your mother. Your mother opened the door for me to share my experiences, my passion for fashion. I never told you that, but not on several occasions, you were an inspiration. Speaking of being in the right place and in the right environment. I remember the day when you came to North Carolina. Remember that?
Yes.
You were getting ready for your major entrepreneurial show with Dudley Hair Care Products. You inspired me, you know, and still today. Kwanzaa, another
Right.
encounter.
Yes.
I wasn't prepared to showcase, but it was just the the thought of saying of the things that you said that day. It
Thank
allowed me to see that you really saw the gift that God, I believe, instilled in me when I was a little child.
you.
And because I never really had a mentor
Right.
in that industry.
I
I mean, it
remember.
was like a trail, it was like me establishing that trail for myself.
I totally understand. I was in that same. I have that same story.
Yes. So to be on the program tonight, I pray that those that are watching don't hate, celebrate.
That's right. That's right. And I wanted to say, Debbie, just from just hearing you talk, I wanted to say this because I believe that our stories were similar. You know, back in those days, I can't speak for you on this, only you know this part, but I know in my house, I was one of the first. I was the first, you know, my father was a pastor, but my father only had an eighth grade education. My mother only had an eighth grade education. I was the first to become an entrepreneur in my family. I was the first who did
Likewise.
training. I was the first, so I didn't have anyone in front of me.
I was the first to graduate as college.
I didn't have anyone in front of me to follow, to model. And so we stepped out, Debbie. We stepped out and we ran into a lot of brick roads. We ran into a lot of brick walls. We stumbled and we got back up. And we stumbled and we got back up. So I just want to say to you and to all those women out here who are listening to us today, no matter how hard things get, no matter how many no's you hear, no matter how tough it is, no matter how dark that room get, no matter how hard you fall, no matter how rough it is, no matter what Tom, Dick, or Harry says about you, no matter how many times you get
No matter
caught,
what,
no matter how many divorces you go through, no matter how many bad relationships, no matter what you go through in life, don't you ever give up on your dreams and goals.
do not.
Watching
Consistency,
Debbie,
patience. And ladies
Debbie,
and gentlemen, that brings me to the poem of the day. Because when it comes to building your brand and when it comes to being who you need to be, you have to have patience, ladies and gentlemen. Here we
That's
go.
it.
Patience. Please practice patience. Please practice patience. Please practice patience. Yeah, that's a real tongue twister. But I had to say it 3 times so that you know that I meant it. Patience is a virtue. That's a real understatement. Your inability to be patient is why you're so irritated. Patience is a virtue. That's a saying we all say. But do you really know what it means to be patient? Are you using it the right way? Because most of us think to be patient means to wait. Plot twist, that's only half the definition. To be patient means to wait in peace. Peace. That's what's missing. Because if you are not waiting in peace, you are not practicing patience. You're just simply waiting, and I call that being complacent. Please practice patience because patience calms you down. Patience keeps you cool when there's nothing but chaos going down around. Please practice patience because it frees your mind and gives you time to unwind and find all the things you didn't know you need to find. Please practice patience. Truth be told. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Chitter Chatter. I am your host, Miss Shaniqua Manigault. Tonight it is season 6, episode 53. Show me your resume. And I am here with my guest, Deborah Jackson, and Black Girl Beauty Coach, Miss Amanda Manigault, who is here for Mind Your Business, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost on our way out. We're actually over time, but the conversation has gotten so good. We are rolling and rumbling. We just gave you the poem of the day because like we have been speaking all night, building a business, building a brand, trying to reach your career goal, whether it's a 9-to-5 career goal or it's an entrepreneur career goal, baby, it's going to take you some time. It's going to take you some consistency. It's going to take you a whole lot of patience.
And be
patience,
patient. Be patient
be
with your
patient.
career.
Patience, as you heard in the poem, ladies and gentlemen, it does not mean to wait. Patience is to wait in peace. You have to be okay with understanding that what's meant for me is not going to miss me. What I'm building, this brand I'm working on, this career I'm building, this business that I'm growing, it's worth it. It's worth the wait. It's gonna work out. You know why it's gonna work out? Because I'm not gonna quit until it does.
And if you believe in your brand, if you believe in your product, if you believe in what you're doing, you're going to stop running. Today you want to paint cars. Tomorrow you want to do floors. Next week I see you're doing something else. Be consistent. These three ladies that you see on this platform, Uniqua got 20 years, and she's only 31 years old. Here I have over 40 years. Deborah has how many years, Deborah?
Actually, 40 plus. Actually, I'm going on 50 because I'm
50 years.
Yes,
we got
yes.
over 100 years right now that you're looking at with the three of us. So, Deborah, I want to ask you before we go off the air. I'm going to leave you two here and then I'm going to ease out. But I wanted to hear, because you have an event or something coming up in July. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Tell them about your event that you have coming up.
Actually, it's coming up in December.
Oh, what's the date?
The first, actually, starting. Let me backtrack. I'm every fourth Saturday.
Okay.
It's a gathering, so it actually starts this month, June.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, June. We are looking at celebrating MBAs. What are MBAs? MBAs are ministers and business owners and those that are called to get out of the boat as ambassadors to preach, to teach. What does that mean? It's what you and your daughter just shared. Shared knowledge, wisdom, and understanding comes with educating those that have a desire to do business. I call it the kingdom way. What is the kingdom way? Well, the Bible says that we all have been given talents, some 5, some 3, and some 1. Okay, the one with the 1 talent didn't do nothing with it. God called them wicked. But the one with the 2 and the 5 talents, they multiplied. And this is what God is doing. Using Black women. I have an acronym for Black women, for Black cultures, Black, Latinos, Asians, Caucasians. But God is raising up women that are kingdom minded.
That's right.
So if you have a resume, put their resume to work.
That's
invest in the youth. Invest in the youth using your skills, your abilities. Just like mother and daughter, you're a prime example. You've trained your child from a young girl to become an entrepreneur.
Worked to the bone.
And see, kingdom-minded means that your focus is putting in the work to build. But my motto and my pattern for success is esteeming others more highly than yourself.
Amen.
See, that's how we grow. Right. Because see, when I see you, I see me. See, because we're all created in God's image. And God said He blessed us to be a blessing. So if you're going to hide your talents and say, oh, compare yourself, that's unproductive energy. You hear what I'm saying? Absolutely. But if I esteem you as one who is striving for success, that should be encouragement and enthusiasm for me to say, wow. It's not so much as if you do it, I can do it. And a lot of times that's the thought, but you don't know what that person has put into getting to where they're supposed to go.
That's right. They
So
don't know the
the thing
story.
is, they don't know the story. So here's the
If they,
key. I'm going to give you the
and if
key.
they had the opportunity to walk your walk, oh my
My
God,
God.
many would not make it through.
Ooh.
Many would not make it through. So I want to say
Likewise.
this. I want to say this before I exit. Thank you so much, Deborah. Please send me
Thank you.
all your dates because we have meetups once a month as well, and I'd like to be able to step in and join your events as well. December the 3rd, you guys. Deborah, I heard you were saying something about December, but we have our 3rd annual Business and Beauty Conference. That's a Saturday, December 3rd.
The first Saturday.
That's the first Saturday. That's not your event, is it? That weekend?
That weekend. Wow. Actually,
we're going to go ahead. What were we going to say?
No, because I wanted to invite your daughter to be the guest.
I thought you were saying it was the 4th Saturday.
That's the fourth Saturday is my birthday in December. So, but one of the things, are you going to be doing the Christmas giveaway again this year?
Our Christmas giveaway is the 2nd Saturday and then the middle of the week, the next week. So we do it the 2nd and 3rd week. Yeah. 2nd
and 3rd. Well, I am updating my webpage, www.jacksonsministry.com, and I'll make sure that you get my itinerary. That way, I'm going to slip in and also try to participate in your event.
Everything that we do, we also do it live as well as, virtual. So you could tap in from any kind of way. But I'm going to call you tomorrow and we can chat a little bit further about, you're in Florida. So I'd like to chat with you about that as well. And then I want to say before I leave, because you didn't mention your resume. So for those who want to join your events, just so they know who you really, really are, can you just read that resume off a little bit so they'll know this is Deborah Jackson?
DJ Live, ministering music with a message to soothe the mind and heal the soul. I'm an advocate, author, and ambassador for Christ. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added. That is the message. That is the me that God sees. And thank you for the opportunity. God bless you. And let's continue chitter chat.
Absolutely. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night,
Miss Amanda. You going to close out for me?
I said good night to me. I'm saying to y'all.
Have a great night, Miss Amanda. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great episode of Chitter Chatter. It is season 6, episode 53. Show me your resume. And next week, here on Chitter Chatter for episode 54, the topic is man and woman. And we are discussing that topic because I don't know if you are aware, but Juneteenth is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We are celebrating our freedom. We are celebrating our lives. We are celebrating our rights to be here. That is what Juneteenth is about. And we are speaking about it next week. The topic is man and woman. It's not man versus woman. Because in our society, we need to understand Black men have struggles that Black women can't relate to. Black women have struggles that Black men can't relate to. It's not a competition. So often in our community, when we have conversations about when Black men have conversations about what they go through, or when a Black woman has a conversation about what she goes through, a Black man might come in and be like, well, screw that, because this is what I got to go through. You don't have to deal with this, that, the third. Or a Black woman might be like, forget that, because what you go through is not this, that, and the third. Baby girls, baby boys, it's not a competition. We both have struggles that each other cannot relate to. Juneteenth is a time for us to come together and celebrate the both of us, Black women and Black men. It took the both of us to get free. It's going to take the both of us to get free again. Because if you don't know, baby, we still in confinement. We're still chained down. We're still getting killed innocently. We're still getting arrested innocently. We are still behind, ladies and gentlemen. We're speaking about it next week. We are speaking about Juneteenth. We are celebrating our freedom, celebrating our lives, celebrating us. And that is what we need more of. This is Black Girl Beauty. Chitter Chatter, and we are on our way out, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a special thank you to my guest, Miss Deborah Jackson, and I want to thank Miss Amanda, Black Girl Beauty Coach, Miss Amanda, for coming in and shedding some light on the topic. Because tonight we spoke about show me your resume. Also, ladies and gentlemen, before I exit out, I want to let you know that I will be performing at Kickback and Vibe Reloaded July 28th. Do not be late. It is going to be live 8 p.m. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 8 p.m., but I'm going to say 8 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, do not miss that. Jump on over to Mr. Christopher Cow's live. Let me go ahead and mention him right now in my comments so you can know to go on over to his website and get your tickets. Because first of all, it's a competition going on for who can sell the most tickets. So make sure you go ahead and tell him that Uniqua sent you. But be sure to jump in and get your tickets because I want you guys to catch this show. I just went ahead and tagged him. Go ahead and jump on over to his page and get your tickets because I want to make sure that you're there. There are a lot of great artists that are going to be performing. I start off the show, so make sure you're there on time because I want you to catch this Black girl performing in her beauty. And this is what we're going to be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss this show. July 28th. The show starts at 8 p.m. Be there or be lame, like I told you last week. Thank you again, Miss Deborah. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself. Tell everyone how they can get in contact with you and where you can be reached before you exit on out.
Well, thank you again for this opportunity. And we all need to prepare our resumes for our children and our children's children. And how we do that is by writing the vision, making it plain, and that others that read it will run with it. And for the last 50 years, I thank God for the opportunity of being your model coach and watching you grow into success. But if those of you that are, whether you're pursuing ministry, business, or you following, I want to say, Christ in ministry, as an advocate, as one that is advocating for change in your community, in your church, in whatever position you may have, put God first. Put your family, yes, first. Because God, you are responsible, husband, you're responsible for loving your wives, likewise, wives. Because if we're going to be free, we've got to be one. And this is why our children, this is how our children learn how to become who they are to be, one in the spirit. And I'm very adamant about this. So visit my website, www.deborahjacksonsministry.com. The reason my motive for being, for being on this program tonight is because it's time to set the stage for the next generation. Our young people need to see role models. Our young people need to know how to become successful. And it's, as you were saying about money, it doesn't just take money. It also takes education, knowing your self-worth, knowing the field, whether it be in acting, whether it be in teaching, whether it be in a doctor. Know your self-worth and use your skills, not just to make a dollar, but use your skills to be a blessing to someone that's fortunate. Thank you for the opportunity. Again, I'm Deborah Jackson, host of Deborah Jackson Live, ministering music with a message, advocating for change, cultivating a spirit of unity in every community. Go to www.Deborah Jackson Live, Deborah Jackson's Ministry, 7-Eleven, Inspiration, Kingdom Talk. Let's walk, not just talk, but let's walk the walk. Let us be what God has called us to be, and that is to be fruitful and multiply. Thank you for the chit
Absolutely.
chat. You can contact me at 717-379-1503. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Be
you.
blessed.
Have a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chitter Chatter episode season 6, episode 53, and it has been an amazing episode. We are 30 minutes over, but I'm so glad that you guys were able to get everything that you need to get. Be sure to tune in next Thursday at 8 p.m. We will be here, man and woman, talking about Juneteenth. Have a great night. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure, and good night.